Hello and welcome back to IIBEC 2025 in Orlando, Florida. My name is Heidi Ellsworth and we're starting out this live sound stage sponsored by IB Roof Systems with our friends from Soprema. I am so excited, Greg. Welcome.
Thank you, Heidi. I'm happy to be here.
You're just the perfect one to kick us off.
Oh, I hope so. Let's see if we get this thing rocking.
That's good. Well, let's start with some introductions. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do with Soprema?
Sure. Thanks for the brief intro. I'm Greg Williams. I'm the National Sales Manager for Soprema and Performance Roof Systems. Soprema's been making modified bitumen for about 117 years.
Yes, they have.
And we have taken the experience and the technology, and we now really feel we're a global producer of building envelope materials.
Definitely.
For the roof, for the walls, below grade, blindside waterproofing. So we really think we've evolved.
I've watched it. I've watched Soprema over
You haven't been around 117 years.
Not 117, but maybe over 30.
30?
And,
okay.
I'll tell you, yeah. And I love what I've watched with the Soprema brand. It's always been about quality. It's always been about durability. But you have really taken that to the full building enclosure, the building envelope, and being here at the IIBEC show, what does that mean to really be able to get all of your amazing products for the whole building envelope in front of these consultants?
Well, it's really important to us because we feel like we focus on more than just making roofing materials. We want to focus on solutions and the resilience side of it.
Yes.
We have focused. We have solutions for ICC 500, which is your storm shelter protection. Yeah. We have solutions for very severe hail.
Oh.
That with FM approvals that we achieve, organically, without any enhancements.
Yeah.
It's a real focus for us on that. And we like to get it out in front of the architects and the consultant world to continue to promote that.
And this is where the consultants come
100%.
To get their information. I know we just had IRE 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But I really feel this is the show where you get in front of that specifying community.
Yeah. Most of the other shows we attend are so broad.
Yes.
It's such a broad range. You have contractors, you have vendors, from outside the country that are trying to get into, introduced to the country. This is a place where all of us, both consultants and manufacturers, can get education. We can share ideas, and we can share best practices. And there's nothing like it.
No, there isn't. There isn't anything like it. So tell us a little bit about new products and initiatives. You talked about resiliency, but what are some of the products and initiatives that you're talking about in your booth?
Well, we're really focusing on providing solutions for seamless tie-ins. How do you tie into another roof? But the thing is, we take a practical approach to it. How do we make it easier for the contractor? We don't want to overcomplicate things.
No.
Who wants that?
No.
The other thing that we're promoting is we're paying very close attention to how buildings are constructed now. The life cycle of a new construction building is a very long time.
Yes, it is.
And we've got to be able to protect that building through the whole cycle of construction. Yeah. So we really are promoting materials that allow contractor to do phase construction, sequence construction, whatever your term you like to use, but to carry it through the whole life of the construction phase.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Wow. What a great conversation to be able to have while you're here.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I know the show hasn't started. It's just getting ready. I think they're just starting, maybe soon. We got you a little bit before the show opened.
That's okay.
I like it. So, but what have you seen so far? I mean, yesterday we had continuing education, and this morning keynote. What are some of the things that you've seen, and what are some things you're excited about that's going to be happening?
I was really intrigued by the sessions. We're focusing on resilient roofing and resilient solutions. They had some sessions that focused on that.
Nice.
Our technical director and his team have focused on being very compliant with our storm shelter systems. I really was impressed the way we're on the same page with IIBEC and all their players.
Yeah. Isn't that nice when you think about that, what's going on in the industry? Sometimes I feel in the past we may not have been kind of up with what's going, but that's not the case anymore. The roofing industry is at the forefront of protection and resiliency. Sustainability, your company, Soprema, leads the way.
It's a global initiative for us, and we all participate. It's all part of our culture. It's part of our 7-star service. It's part of how we go to work every day and how we live at home.
Yeah.
If you don't have good practices at home, you're not going to take them to work with you, and vice versa. So
Right.
it's got to be a lifestyle.
It's got to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I agree so much. Okay. Well, you talked about the resiliency in the sessions, and I guess one of the things, and we kind of talked about this at the beginning, but I want to touch on it one more time.
No, go for it.
Just really what the consultant community means year-round to you and to Soprema, and really working hand in hand with them and your contractors. We've actually had in the past some great coffee conversations with Soprema and a consultant, Benchmark, and a contractor, K-Post, on how important that triangle is. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, your relationship with the consultant gives you credibility with the owner.
Yes.
You know, and that's how the triangle really works.
Yeah.
Consultant, contractor, and ownership, right?
Yeah.
So I think having that year over year and that year-round relationship with the consultant, it benefits all three parties.
I do too.
You know, and it's so important when you're dealing with owners. They want to know where you're getting your instructions from, where you're getting your scope of work from. It's not coming from the manufacturer. We don't own that part of it. Yeah. It needs to come from the consultant. So we place so much responsibility and so much ownership on the consultant. If you don't have those relationships, you're destined to fail.
And the other thing that I appreciate and that I see out there is you provide all the tools the consultants need.
100%.
Right? I mean, from EPDs to HPDs, everything that's out there now that's being demanded for specifications, you're just right in the forefront of that.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing that we pride ourselves in. We've really have focused on it the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, understanding what EPDs are and HPDs. You know, not a lot of people do. It's not an easy one to get your hands around.
No.
But we really focus on that. We have a team that's their primary duties is to define those and make sure we stay up to date with them also.
And put it together.
Yeah, you got to put it together. And you know, we say that we're a manufacturer of roofing components. We don't build roofs.
Okay.
We manufacture components. The contractor builds the roof. The consultant designs the roof.
Right.
We manufacture everything they need.
Again, what a great partnership across the board. Across the board. Well, hey, it looks like we have folks coming in.
It's starting to pile in.
I know. Here's all the consultants coming in. This is pretty exciting.
It is exciting. They're right on top of us, too.
I know. I love it. I love it. Well, Greg, thank you so much. Thanks for starting us out.
Thanks for having me. This kind of gets me ready to go. I'm jazzed.
Get back to that booth. You got to get there before the consultants leave.
Absolutely, I will.
They're walking that way really quick right now.
Thank you,
thank
Heidi.
you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all. We have more coming.